I just want to thank Patricia and Jennifer and Monica for putting with this august group of people up here on panels, but I also want to say that all of you guys could be up here on a panel because everybody in this room has an inspiring story that they can share because we all have journeys that we're making, probably many along the same path. But I'm just going to tell you how I started. I come from a small railroad town in southern Illinois. There's about 3,000 people there. It's a small town with small-minded people. My stepfather was an alcoholic, and nothing to be ashamed of. There's a lot of people I know that are alcoholics. But, you know, yeah, speaking of that, let's all toast to that. But that actually was part of the drive that, I mean, they gave me the drive because, quite frankly, I mean, I was a popular girl in school, but I was very embarrassed from my family situation, and so I swore that I was going to get out of Dodge at all costs. And I had an opportunity to model in St. Louis, and I became the youngest fashion coordinator at Famous Bar. I was at 13 years old in junior high school, and I worked all through high school and junior high doing modeling in St. Louis and whatever. And I was valedictorian in my class, and I got a scholarship to Washington University. I was sick to death of school, sick to death. And a girlfriend of mine said, Candace, you know, they're auditioning in St. Louis for the Playboy Club there. You should go, you should try out. I thought, oh God, yes, let me do that. So I went, I got the job. I worked there for like a year and a half, and I did a pictorial, Best Bunnies pictorial. And I got a call from the mansion in Chicago, and they invited me to move up here from St. Louis. Now, small town, I know I was living in St. Louis, but I was still a very small town girl. So driving to Chicago along 55, it was like I was entering the Emerald City. I mean, I felt like Dorothy entering the land of Oz. And to pull up in front of the mansion and to have the butlers greet you by name and say, Hefner will be having a reception in the grand ballroom, and it was surreal, quite frankly. And then to have the Rolling Stones there for parties, and I was too young to appreciate it. I don't remember hardly any of those times. Everybody said, oh God, Candace, you could write a book. No, I can't, I don't remember shit. So, that was good news, bad news. Some things you want to forget, others you don't. But so Playboy was very good to me. A lot of you know the history, my history with Playboy. I went through the ranks. I was Playboy Bunny of the Year. I was first runner-up in the international contest. I was December 1979 centerfold. I've done 8 covers for Playboy, 6 foreign, 2 American, and they've been really, really, really good to me. And so they were so good to me that their art directors suggested that instead of being a bunny into perpetuity, that perhaps I might want to take up modeling as a full-time job. They actually even did my comp, they took my photos, and so I went out into Chicago, and I was very well received, and I started modeling in Chicago. And I was with an agency here that suggested I go to New York just because it's bigger at the time than Chicago was. And so I went to New York, and I will never forget this. I went to Ford first. I saw Eileen Ford. And she said, Candace, you're a very pretty girl, but you know, the length from your ankles to your knees is too short. I went, I said, who even knew something like this was a measurement? I mean, I was incredulous. But I marched myself right over to Wilhelmina, and as my mother always said, for every pot there's a lid that fits it. And they accepted me at Wilhelmina, and I had a wonderful career. Wilhelmina was a beautiful woman inside and out. And because of that agency, I had a billboard in Times Square. I modeled in Spain for 6 months, and I had a wonderful career there for the length of time that I was in New York. So a side note to this, about a month ago, I just signed with, guess who? Ford, 3 months. So I've been very lucky. I have a blog that I hope all of you are reading. It's candidcandace.com. I write for Chicago Now. I've been very lucky lately to have an internet television show on the Chicago's newest online network, watch312.com, called Candid Candace Chicago. I love doing it. I love being out amongst all you people at the parties and seeing your faces on the camera. And so I've been very, very blessed, but I guess the motto of this whole story is that you just never give up. And it's common and it's common sense, but it really is true. I mean, if you just have a drive and you see a dream and you want to fulfill it, you just have to keep going. And when somebody else said that, you know, when you see something that you're afraid to do, believe me, somebody else is doing it. So don't ever miss an opportunity. And I'm so thrilled to be here. So I want to thank Monica and Patricia and Jennifer, and let's cheer everybody in the room for their journey to success.